Hey guys, welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles! Last time I was a little bit stuck, and I still am, to be honest, because I just keep recording. I don't know what to do, to be honest. Everything has check marks in the cabin. We investigated everything in here in cabin number 2, where Nina is sleeping and pursuing a voyage on the ship. But there doesn't seem to be anything to do, and I don't really know what to do next, so I'm a little bit stuck. So I'm just gonna go to the passageway and examine here, but this is old. It's so... Okay, there, something... Miss Pavlova's cabin. This could be our chance. Yeah, but we already went in, Susato. What? The burly sailor doesn't appear to be around at the moment. We could investigate every last inch of that cabin, but we already did. I'm not sure if we could get that far, but we could certainly do with looking around more. I'm sure we could learn something. But that's weird. I already did that. Now I've investigated thoroughly, but blah blah blah. Nothing in this place. Okay. Mr. Sholmes. We haven't talked to him, so I guess he has new information for us. Oh, it's Mr. Sholmes, look! Wow, you never know where he's going to turn up next, do you? He seems to be stealing a look at something as he sings to himself. Yeah, he was singing to himself when we passed through here. I have to learn to look around better. Tra-la-lee-la-lie, I did the great detective way. He's still singing. Do you think he hasn't noticed us? Or he's simply in extremely high spirits? Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when the yard bit off more than it could chew. And through it all, when there was doubt, it's lucky her luck was about. Excuse me? I solved it all and I stood tall. I did the great detective way. Mr. Sholmes!
Ah! What is it? You want to fight, huh? Honestly, interrupting a fellow when he's singing, and I was just about to reach the climatic finish.
Sorry, I thought you were never going to stop, so I figured now is a good time as any.
I very nearly dropped you to the floor with one of my famous right hooks.
Alright, I get the picture. Now could you put those fists away? Mr. Sholmes, you seem to be examining something before we interrupted you.
Ah yes, that. I was immersed in study of the ship's log, as penned by the stockily built crewman who's usually on guard here.
Oh yes, the ship's log. And did you find out anything useful from it?
Well, after 2 AM this morning, the majority of the entries are blank.
Which means that there was nothing to report, nothing of note happened, so...
You truly are a student from the land of the rising sun. You've been utterly blinded by it.
Sorry?
Your logic, my boy, is inverted.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
Observe the other pages, and all shall become clear. It would seem the same crewman stands sentry in the first-class passageway, and he has an almost religious practice of recording nothing to report every half hour.
Oh, he writes that in every 30 minutes? Nothing to report?
Precisely. Put simply, the seaman writes nothing to report when there is just that. And yet, the ship's log from last night is largely blank. He didn't even write nothing to report.
Do you mean?
Yes, there were circumstances afoot last night which led to the seaman being absent from his post.
What kind of circumstances? What happened?
That remains a mystery for now, but we can be sure something significant took place. So significant that it caused the seaman to forget his irregular habit of scribing nothing to report in the log. These are important details. I would stake my life on it. You must log the ship's log in your mental file.
The ship's log has been entered into the record record. Ship's log, a record kept by the crew assigned to the first class cabin area. There are virtually no entries from 2 AM until early this morning. Now that deduction was worthy of a great detective.
True. You're starting to understand what my way is, I see. What makes Sholmes Sholmes. Brilliance. Yeah. Oh, ouch.
What is it? Are you hurt?
Oh, don't worry yourself. I seem to be afflicted with a throbbing head this morning for some reason. Nothing more.
Him too, okay.
Well, my friends, until our next encounter.
He's still singing to himself. I can hear it as he wanders off down the passageway. Is something wrong, Susato-san? You seem lost in thought. It's just... well, I feel the same. Sorry? Ever since I woke this morning, I've had something of a headache. A sort of continuous throbbing. Oh, you too? Well, that's weird. So where do we go next? We've examined everything here. There's nothing more left to examine. Oops, I wanted to move. So we had a look here in oh, okay. Ah, what's that? Oh. What's going on?
Shut down the engines immediately. Vessel sighted at quarter mile before. Full stop hard to starboard. All hands brace from impact.
What the? I think we're about to crash into another ship. What? I can't stand. Susato-san, hold on to me. Wah! Okay. Susato-san, are you alright? Are you injured at all? I think I'm fine. Thank you, Naruhodo-san. It looks like we avoided a collision. I think... yes, the ship has come to a stop. Oh my goodness. What about you, Naruhodo-san? Are you hurt? No, I'm fine. Hello, is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance. Oh, that sounds like... it's Inspector Osanaga. Is that you in there, Naruhodo-san? Unbolt the door, quickly. What? The bolt? Look at that. Look at that. The door's bolted? Did you do that, Susato-san? No, I didn't touch it. Well, that's strange. How did... and look at all the books. They're just like they were before again. Naruhodo-san, aren't you going to open the door and let the inspector in? I'd better tidy this place up first. Our violent emergency stop has solved one mystery at least, in a very vivid way. But I knew that what awaited us on the other side of the cabin door would not be pleasant. I hurried around tidying up the cabin with a new sense of foreboding in my heart. Okay. But we still have lots of time, guys. I'm just gonna save and continue. So just stay tuned. Yeah, we're just gonna save. And continue. 9th January, Mrs. Buria, Miss Pavlova's cabin. Somehow, the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency stop. Susato-san took a deep breath and gently slid back the bolt.
You! What are you doing in Miss Pavlova's quarters?
Ah, you both look unhurt. Good. Yes, we're fine, thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship. Yes, it appears to have been a false report, though. Oh, how did that happen? There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship ahead. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop.
Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming. Crew are running everywhere.
This first-class area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. Oh, I see. Someone triggered the alarm? Does that mean that someone pressed that button outside? Ah! You wicked intruder! Dressed all in black, you are the devil! Sorry, me? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil is a first. You opened my traveling case! How could you? What? No, we didn't touch it! That's right, Miss Pavlova. It was already open when we came into your cabin. Inspector! Yes? Arrest this man. I know he did it. He's a criminal. Is it not enough that he has killed a man?
Duh, and he's stowaway as well. If Wixon promises not to steal chicken, do you believe?
Take him away. He's a trespasser as well as everything else.
Stowing away, trespassing, killing. She's right, you are a devil.
It does not look good, does it?
There is cell below deck. Throw him in. Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong. Then we give you straight to police.
Wait, a cell? Please, Inspector Osanaga, is there nothing you can do? This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options. This is terrible. This is a real crisis. I've got to find a solution. Immediately. Oh, okay. So that means we can't converse, we only can move, so we have to examine. So Naga-san, we can do this. I just need to keep calm and focus on the task at hand, which is investigating. Don't touch my things!
You want me to show you where crawfish hibernates?
Yeah! Mr. Naruto, what do you think you're doing? Wow, everyone's attacking me, and I was just starting to think she was my friend. Isn't there anyone who can help me out of this mess? I guess he can help us, but I'm going to go through all of these guys. You've got yourself in a difficult situation here. Because I want to have all the dialogue. By entering this cabin uninvited, I mean. Sorry, I was just so desperate to find a clue. I'm afraid there's really nothing more I can do to help you. If I push my luck any further, a punch to the face will be the least of my worries. I'm really sorry. I have to take responsibility for giving you the freedom to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin. Now this has happened. I'll have to report to the captain at once. I really need some help here. I need a savior to rescue me from this crisis. Let's talk to him.
Please!
Please, just give me a little more time.
I do nothing for you. Except show your way to ship's prison cell.
Thanks, but no thanks. But I'm innocent, I didn't kill anyone.
And trespassing and stowing away?
Well, you know, sometimes life can lead you down to some unusual avenues and, well...
Enough! You are guilty. Ship's cell is the only place fit for you.
Come on, there has to be someone. Some savior to rescue me from this crisis. It's not Miss Pavlova either, but we're still gonna talk to her. Miss Pavlova, can I... Get out! Listen, I'm sorry that we snuck in here without your permission, but... Get out now! We just needed to investigate in here to help understand. Do svidania, maybe? Do svidania, maybe? I really don't know. If you know, please put it in the comments, guys. Oh, it's no use. She's not going to listen. I need to find someone who will. And well, that is for sure Mr. Scholz. What the... What are you doing up there? Mr. Scholz!
Naturally, I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 rubles feels like in one's hand. Have I not told you that as a detective, it is my business to know what other people do not? This isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Oh, no, no, no.
Well, why are you hanging from that hook before then?
Isn't it obvious? To properly assess the weight of the 20,000 rubles naturally, I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited-looking hook on the wall so full of brag and pounds.
I never know whether to take this man seriously or not. Oh, you again. The great detective.
Ah, Inspector. I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently.
Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time.
What is to report? Speak!
An urgent report from a great detective can mean but one thing. Yes? The case of the curious murder that took place last night here on this vessel, the steamship Boria, has been solved. By me, naturally.
Okay, that is a little bit of a surprise now. What? Really?
Yes, I have eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanation exists. So, allow me to illuminate all your minds. For I am about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case.
Oh, we get another dance of deduction?
Ha! You have solved it! Even Hedgehog understands this case. We all knew who was responsible for killing Student Boy this morning when we found criminal in wardrobe. It is this stowaway, and he has handcuffs to prove it.
I didn't do it! The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must be someone who was inside the cabin. Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective stories.
Duh, locked room, that is point.
The room was locked. Well, I can't deny that. There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin.
You are all quite mistaken.
The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room after all. What?
Oh yes, there's another entrance. The entrance used last night by the culprit in order to get access to the cabin despite the bolted door.
What other entrance? We never discovered one.
Why, it gapes open-mouthed at you even as we speak. The ventilator, man.
The ventilator?
Gah ha 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 ha. You think this is funny? I cannot even put my arm through that hole.
That's because your arm's as thick as tree trunks. You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening. It's not possible.
Ah, but it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator.
Mr. Sholmes, do you mean... Are you referring to the words Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary? 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. It looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
Precisely, my dear madam.
But what does it mean? What is this speckled band?
The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin.
Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing?
There is a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I am ready. What I am about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your cores. Behold!
Oh, what the...
Allow me to introduce you all to the band. The speckled band.
A snake?
Indubitably.
Mr. Sholmes, just one thing.
Pray, what troubles you?
Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, wouldn't you say? Yes, you're right. I think in this case, you'd have to call it the stripe band, wouldn't you?
You both see and observe with distinction, however. Do you not think that is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall?
Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap? How exactly?
I think perhaps it is time I explained the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova?
I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me.
There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one, last night, your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. And number two, that same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life.
No. She's turned as white as a bowl of rice again. Sholmes must be right. He's hit the nail on the head. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Asuki? It looks like he can't speak with a snake coiled around his head.
I would advise a little movement as possible, Seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck. So everyone, let us begin. Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
The Great Deduction! Yeah! Alright, let's go! Topic 1. Intruder's identity.
Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death is nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself.
Okay.
Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on the portentous night?
Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it?
Sorry. Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? As I suspected, another telltale glance! Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band, whereas regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we then give, pray? What was this sign that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this.
Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Ooh. Yes, that which you are trying but failing to conceal can only be the snake's sloughed skin. Evidently, after the subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours shed its original skin. No?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, you then speckled French slithered next door. Using the bell cord on the other side as a bridge, the serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared to the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled band. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it sloughs its skin. A snake so dreadful, we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. Conclusion: a beloved speckled snake. Topic number 2. How Mr. Asugi died. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury. Okay, so she already reacted to that.
Oh,
in fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. Now, if we take that as a fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm at the scene of the crime.
oh no. Could there be?
Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively. The almost but not quite imperceptible puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the vestiges of the snake bite delivered by your terrifying friend.
This makes no sense.
There is no point for ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in the traveling case. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. The serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt.
You don't.
It is telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound that he heard minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you had used to train your serpent friend.
To train?
Indeed, you'd put the serpent through this ventilator and wait. After a period, you'd summon it back with a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you'd release the snake once more. Do you deny the snake has undergone such training?
It's not true.
Having slithered through the ventilator and down the barrel cord, the creature needed only to sink its fangs in once. And its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. That is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor young man's life. There can be no doubt. My logic is now infallible.
Conclusion: death by a venomous snake's bite.
Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of the speckled band.
Well guys, I'm sorry to leave you with this cliffhanger, but we already recorded about half an hour, and if you want to see how this dance of deduction is going to unfold, you'll have to tune in for the next episode of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.